Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mesa Vista. This is the new name of our project here, formerly a Motel 6. This is a Homekey project. Very excited to have everyone here today. I'm Kyle Payne, President of Community Development Partners. This site will provide 87 units of affordable housing. 30 of those units will be VASH units for formerly homeless veterans, and 10 of those units will be for MHSA clients suffering from severe mental illness at risk of homelessness. We're very excited about this project and excited to say that the first 40 units have been received C of O, and we will have people moving in February. These are some of the most vulnerable populations to serve, and really none of this could be done without the Homekey program, which is the catalyst for pushing this project forward. So we're very excited to be here today with you all. I want to thank Governor Newsom for being here, for creating this program, and advocating for affordable housing across the state. Housing crisis and homelessness is a real crisis. I think everyone knows that. We need strong leaders to push programs forward and think of creative ways to solve the problem, and Homekey is one of those creative solutions. This project started with Homekey funding and has taken support from every level of government, all of which are here today, from the state and HCD who administers the program, awarding us this project, to the city who provided support and capital for this deal, as well as the county who provided project-based vouchers for our veteran units and MHSA clients and capital to get this project moved forward, as well as the Orange County Housing Finance Trust, who just recently extended our commitment for funding here, which will help us get the second phase of this project completed. So I just want to thank county staff, the Board of Supervisors, the City Council, and city staff for all the support, and at the state level. Thank you so much for pushing this forward. Very excited to get these folks housed and moved in. I'll keep my comments brief, so I want to introduce our next speaker, who's been a huge advocate, proponent of this project, Mayor John Stevens, City of Costa Mesa. He's been at the forefront of this deal since it started. So Mayor Stevens, please come up.
Here I am, Kyle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you very much. Everybody, welcome to the great city of Costa Mesa. My name's John Stevens. I'm the mayor of the city of Costa Mesa. And this is truly a local project, but it's a project that covers every level of government in terms of its support. Kyle, it's so local, in fact, that Kyle lives right around the corner from me in the great city of Costa Mesa. Larry Haynes from Mercy House, who's going to be the operator, Mercy House is going to be the operator of this facility, he lives around the other corner. So we have everything covered in the great city of Costa Mesa here. But we couldn't do it without our support from every level of government. So, of course, Governor Newsom, who we're very honored to have in the city of Costa Mesa. Thank you, Governor Newsom. And putting together the Homekey program itself and allowing this spot to be acquired from the Motel 6. And then also, we can't forget, and he's not here, but he's here in spirit, our great President Joe Biden and the United States Congress, that through the ARPA Act, was able to get us the funds that we were able to allocate and provide for gap funding here. And thank you to my city council, who went along with this and voted in favor of this project, and to our city staff that worked so hard on it. Everybody at HCD at the state level, thank you for this. This is providing needed housing for veterans, for seniors, and people who are at the edge of homelessness. Housing is one of our highest priorities in the city of Costa Mesa, and this is a way that we can solve that for the people that need it the most. And I didn't leave her out. Our former mayor of the great city of Costa Mesa, current supervisor Katrina Foley. Perhaps from my point of view, she's been the most instrumental, because she was the one that brought me and our city staff and our mayor pro tem to the county supervisor's office to a workshop to explain the project. And the county has been so supportive of us along the way to achieve this. So thank you very much, and it is my great honor to bring up my friend and also a Costa Mesa resident, Supervisor Katrina Foley.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. I'm Katrina Foley, your county supervisor, former mayor, school board member, city council member, and resident of the city of Costa Mesa. Somebody who has worked tirelessly for more than a decade to make sure that we are housing the most vulnerable in our community. Because guess what? Shelter is temporary. but housing ends homelessness. And so I want to give a shout out to all those who helped me to put together, once the governor announced this amazing program, Homekey, I put together Homekey in a box for Orange County. And Julia Bidwell, who's here from our housing department, she helped me to pitch it to all of our cities and to make sure that they knew that the county was a resource for them. We would take care of all the technical. We would connect them with developers. We would help to fund the projects. And so Mayor Stevens was really excited about it, and he brought Kyle and Larry, and here we are taking a Motel 6 that, Governor, you have to know, this has been a problem motel for many, many years. I worked so long to try to eliminate some of these problem motels, crime, prostitution, drugs, fentanyl, and now it is going to be a place of hope, a place for people to get housed, a place where people can be stabilized and have great lives here in California, in Costa Mesa. I also want to share that in Orange County, we have taken a lead in terms of this Homekey program. We're embracing it, and we have already brought forward 328 Homekey units, including the 88 here. We have, as our Orange County Housing Finance Trust Chair, with my partner here, Supervisor Sarmiento, also on the board, we are investing in housing. We just issued just yesterday $32 million in funding for 18 multifamily rental units. We are building 1,617 units here in Orange County, and with the help of the governor and the state governor, thank you for leading into housing. Thank you for understanding housing ends homelessness. We appreciate your effort to remove encampments, help people have better lives, and as a girl who grew up in having struggles with housing, it's my time to give back, and I appreciate you helping me to do that. So thank you, Governor. At this time, I'm going to introduce another great representative for Costa Mesa and for Orange County, my friend, Assemblywoman Cotty Petrie-Norris.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Assemblywoman Cotty Petrie-Norris, and it is a pleasure to welcome Governor Newsom to the 73rd Assembly District. Ending homelessness is a top priority for me, for my constituents, for our local elected leaders, and as you know, for Governor Newsom. All across the state, California has made unprecedented investments. Over the course of the last 3 years, we have made historic investments to address this crisis and to end homelessness in California. But we know that writing the check is the easy part, and that is why we are all laser focused on accountability, on ensuring that we are spending your tax dollars wisely and effectively, investing in programs that work, and ensuring that these historic investments deliver historic results. And that is why I am really just delighted to be here at this Homekey project, because Homekey works. Project Homekey is an efficient and effective way to get more people off of our streets and into homes. We are saving time with this program, and we are saving your tax dollars. So I'm really excited to welcome Governor Newsom here to announce the expansion of this program to even more parts of the state of California. Look, we all recognize that there is a lot more work to be done, but I'm very, very proud of the progress that we have made here in Orange County. In fact, Orange County is the only large county in the state of California to see a year-on-year decrease in homelessness, and that's something that we should all be proud of. I think sometimes the scope and scale of this challenge can feel really intractable, but together we are making real progress. Together, we are healing our communities, and together, we are saving lives. One of the other things that's so special about this project is, as you heard, that we will be housing homeless veterans here. And no one who has ever ever served America should ever find themselves sleeping on our streets. And so I'm really pleased to introduce someone now who is helping to lead the charge to end veterans homelessness in Orange County. Please welcome from the Orange County Military and Veterans Families Collaborative, Richard Owens.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. My name is Richard Owens. I'm the Regional Director of Community Impact for Jamboree Housing. I'm also an Executive Advisor for the Orange County Veterans and Military Families Collaborative. And so Homekey, Project Homekey is doing amazing things here. For Orange County, Project Homekey is providing 50 units of VASH housing for veterans. So we will house 50 veterans just through Project Homekey alone. So that means the 259 homeless veterans that are currently on our by name list, that number will be reduced. And it's amazing that we're doing that. And when we think about all the progress we've made, even in veteran housing since 2020, in 2020, Orange County opened its first veteran project-based housing of Heroes Landing in Santa Ana that provided 75 units of veteran housing. And at the end of this year, Jamboree Housing will have completed 214 veteran-specific housing units in Orange County. But I want to talk real quick about how Project Homekey provides us a model to help house the remaining veterans that are on our by name list. 3.5 years ago, I returned home from Afghanistan. When I returned home, I came back to work for Jamboree, and they said, hey, here's this new program. By the way, we were in the middle of a pandemic, so we're all working from home. And they said, hey, here's this new program. We don't know much about it, but we're going to hand it to you because you just got back and you've got nothing else on your plate. Little did we know the magnitude of the project and the impact that we would make in the community. We took over in November 2 hotels. One, and this was all done in collaboration with the City of Stanton and the County of Orange, both through the county's Housing and Community Development and through Orange County Office of Care Coordination. These 2 projects, they had a combined 130 units. And as we go about Project Stanton Inn had 70 units. It was already operating as a Project Roomkey site. And as such, we already had individuals staying there that were experiencing homelessness that are now there off the streets. Tahiti Motel was a new acquisition. So we had to go through relocation. We had 41 families we had to help to relocate before we could even begin construction. But one of the great things about Homekey was that it allowed us to streamline the construction, and it set some pretty tight constraints on us. We had 90 days from acquisition to be able to get 50% occupied. So we took over one property in November, we took over the second property in December. By the end of March, we had already had 100 individuals occupying these units. By the end of April, in 6 months, we were at full occupancy of 130 units. So think about that for a minute. In 6 months, we were able to take 130 people who were experiencing homelessness from the street and put them into a secure housing environment where they were surrounded with supportive services. We continued to operate that for 3.5 years, and in 3.5 years, we served 225 individuals. Of those 225, we were able to successfully house 171. So in 3.5 years, we were able to successfully house 171 individuals, working with them through interim housing. Now, as we begin to complete the conversion process of these, we will have another 132 individuals that we will be serving. So I want to leave you with this. In 3.5 years, thanks to Project Homekey and our ability to expedite construction, we have served and provided housing for 303 individuals who are experiencing homelessness in Orange County. When has that ever been done before? In such a short period of time that you can house 303 individuals. So It wouldn't have been done without our governor, Governor Newsom. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Richard just summed it all up. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for all your hard work, Richard. Thank you for your service, and thank you for bringing to life this project, this moment, and this milestone. Today, at a state level, 3.5 years into Project Homekey, we've reached the threshold of 15,009 units that have been procured throughout the state of California, or 9,000 fully operational, and many converting in real time, including the conversion of this project here today, which will be opening in a matter of weeks. As Richard said, Supervisor said, Mayor and others, this is unprecedented in California's history. We've never invested at this scale, at this level. We've never invested with the kind of intentionality to address the crisis that persists, not just here in Orange County, but throughout the state of California, and increasingly all across the United States. This is a nation-leading effort. This is a best practice that is servicing other ideas and other strategies throughout the states, all across, rather, the United States. It came out of inspiration, perhaps a little desperation, perhaps the two driving forces of life, inspiration, desperation, as Richard was saying during the crisis of COVID. And we decided to take advantage of that moment, desperate as we were to address the conditions on the streets and sidewalks and to work through the anxieties of the moment, inspired by the opportunity with people working from home, not traveling, with a vacancy rate in hotels and motels throughout the state, to procure under the Homekey model in partnership with the federal government and the Biden administration to help reimburse, to address that crisis, and to cohort individuals and groups into units so they'd be protected during the pandemic. And ultimately, we were able to convert that construct to the Homekey model. $3.5 billion, $3.5 billion invested, a little over $3 billion that have been distributed, billions more in private sector, as well as other public sector agencies coming together, building capacity and partnerships. This is a perfect and prime example. $10 million catalyst investment from Homekey, tens of millions more that were patched together because of the ingenuity and entrepreneurial spirit of the folks that brought this project to life. We want to keep this going. Here's the challenge. That $3.5 billion, that money's running out. This woman who's been a champion, thank you for all your hard work in this space, recognizes the budgetary constraints, particularly that she and others will be facing this year as we balance our budget. But here is the opportunity. And here's why I am here with optimism. And that is, in March, you have a chance to do something about that. You have a chance to replicate success, to allow us to continue to scale this success and to move with the urgency that's needed at the moment by passing Proposition 1. Proposition 1 is a $6.4 billion housing bond that will allow $2 billion to be invested in projects like this to continue the momentum. $1 billion. And Richard, thank you for your leadership again and your inspiration in locking this in. $1 billion specifically for our vets. This is the kind of momentum and scale that is required to address this crisis and to fundamentally make the dent that the taxpayers of California expect and deserve. So I can't impress upon you more the importance, yes, of this milestone, 15,000 units, $3.5 billion taxpayers investment. By the way, that comes out to about $203,000, $200,000 per unit from the state. You've been reading a lot about these $800,000, $900,000 units all throughout. This is about speed, it's about scale, and it's about leverage. It's also about bringing down the costs. Everything about this should enliven people. This should, I think, address a lot of the anxieties, regardless of your political stripes, where you are on the spectrum in terms of the kind of efficiency and effective programs that produce real results in real time. Remember, as the supervisor was saying, and I appreciate, Supervisor, you painted a beautiful picture of this, of what it once was. You're also addressing blight at the same time. You're addressing human needs and human suffering. You're addressing the cost to the taxpayers on the back end in neglect, police overtime, emergency room visits, people with behavioral health issues that are self-medicating with drug or alcohol addiction. So we're saving money. We're addressing blight. We're building a sense of community, optimism we can solve this problem, and doing it at speed and scale that we've never done in the state's history and U.S. history. There's nothing like this happening, and again, in the United States of America at this scale. So I'm really proud of this, and I'm proud of all the extraordinary work that you've all put in to make this happen. I say it all the time. It's the bingo card. Localism's determinative. This is a partnership with the state. We launch it, but it has to be executed at the local level. Thank you to the county. Thank you, Supervisor, for your incredible leadership. Thank you for recognizing the opportunity of Homekey. I love Homekey in a box. I wrote that down. And thank you for inspiring us to do more, because I say this all the time, success leaves clues. I'm not interested in funding failure. We're not interested in failing more efficiently when it comes to the issue of homelessness and the crisis on the street. We're about executing at scale and investing in best practices, things that work, that are proven results, that create a permanent sense of change on the streets. It's visible and real, and people can feel and are tangible. 163,000 people. That's the number of people on the basis of what we've already experienced that will benefit from the Homekey program. That's extraordinary. It's not just 15,000 units that are permanent for one individual. It's the turnover. The idea is to get people back on their feet, back to self-sufficiency, and that turnover allows us to scale at the level of the crisis, or at the level the crisis demands. So that's the announcement today. That's the progress to report. Final words. There's also 6 other projects that we are advancing today. We've got 6 counties in Lassen and Marin. We've got projects in San Bernardino and San Luis Obispo, Santa Cruz, and Oakland. They'll be beneficiaries of the investments we're making today. And as I said, we've got a few $100 million more that will be awarded in the next round under Homekey. But we need the public support by supporting Prop 1. Proven, scalable strategy to continue the momentum and make a real dent on homelessness, and to do what we must to advance our values and principles by having the backs of our vets, not just when they're in uniform overseas, but when they're back home where we deserve, or they deserve, our support the most. So I look forward to a successful election and look forward to more projects like this. And Mr. Mayor, thank you. This is a great project. It's a great city. Supervisor who is here, even though he's not from Costa Mesa, he understands the power and potency of this project, and I'm grateful for your leadership and support today. We're here to answer any questions.
Thanks so much, Governor. Josh Haskell, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. You've been very critical of the United States Supreme Court, many of their rulings, but when it comes to City of Grant Pass versus Johnson, you released a statement that said that they have the opportunity to correct course. How much faith do you have in the United States Supreme Court that they will correct course, and would it be a game changer for your efforts to address the homeless crisis?
Well, I think it's not just my efforts. Just, again, back to localism. I mean, we're doing our part, and I'm individually doing my part, cleaning up encampments all throughout the state of California. But at the end of the day, it's giving the tools to local government, to cities, counties, and the COCs to do their job to clean up encampments. We've got to address the crisis of encampments in this state. It's a top priority. We put $750 million in these encampment resolution grants. And what a resolution grant does, it's not just whack-a-mole, out of sight, out of mind. It actually has to resolve the underlying issues in the first place. But then we've got all these rules that the courts have laid in front of us, and lawsuits and litigation delays, and it just needs to be clarified. And the Supreme Court can lend their hand to do that, so local government doesn't have an excuse. I'm done with the excuses. Too many excuses. Can't do this, can't do that. We're getting sued. Some are legit, some are not. But there's a lot of folks who are saying, well, we can't clean it up because, and there's some truth to that. Sometimes there's no truth to it, but some people use it as cover for neglect. And I just want to remove all that, and I want to move with some assurance and certainty and address the underlying issues. They're our values. This is not about being cruel and inhumane. But that said, the status quo is cruel and inhumane, and to the extent this Supreme Court can help and advance that, I want to give that a shot, and that's why we've signed that amicus brief and are encouraged.
To your take on the GOP presidential primary so far?
Well, I mean, DeSantis is toast. That's self-evident. I don't think he's even spending much time in New Hampshire. He's given up on that. I don't know a state he can win in a primary. So that's for certain. It's Trump's to lose. Time to recognize that and look forward. The Biden administration has already understood this, and the rest of us to get on with it and clarify the choice and the consequences of a second Trump term. So I think for all effective, regardless, if he wins on Tuesday, it's done. But regardless, even what happens on Tuesday in New Hampshire, this race is over. Donald Trump's going to be the nominee yet again, and we've got our work cut out for us as Democrats.
Hi, I'm Michael Sladen with the Orange County Register. Governor, the city and county, this is related to Tustin Hangar Fire. The city and county have been asking for you to issue an emergency proclamation so residents can get reimbursed and the city won't have a dire budget situation. Will you or will you not be issuing one, and why?
Well, the emergency's passed, so the emergency deck won't have any effectiveness in terms of reimbursements. In terms of, you're asking about a disaster declaration, has to reach a third threshold. Major disaster deck actually has a numeric legal threshold of about $73 million. As it relates to this specific issue, it doesn't reach those thresholds. And as a consequence, federal property, federal responsibility. And I think, Supervisor, you made some comments about that, and I appreciate that understanding. It just doesn't reach the thresholds under the state laws. So I can fake it, but then I'm going to be in jail myself at the Supreme Court asking for forgiveness. So we just are not, it's just not at that level of threshold that would trigger state resources. And in particular, this is a federal responsibility. We are working with the federal government, my Office of Emergency Service, to make sure the federal government is aggressively assessing the true costs and getting those reimbursement checks. I think they've already identified about $11 million of 15.9 that we've had a chance to review. So there's some progress, and we want to see more into the future. And we're working closely with the county, working closely with the feds in that respect to make sure you get reimbursed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was the last question.
Are you going to ask? That's my staff. That's a dangerous one. No is the answer. So let me just once again thank everybody. We got an all-star panel behind me of folks that, again, made all this happen. And just thank you. And I'll just close one final thing. The Motel 6 is interesting. I don't know if you recall during Homekey, we made a commitment to basically buy most of the Motel 6s in California. Came out of the crisis. Some of them were independent. The vast majority, though, are in the Homekey model. So it's just wonderful to be at an old Motel 6 site and to be part of this narrative as we extend the Homekey model to the next level. But great to be back. 6 projects in Orange County, and this is truly one of the more spectacular ones. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.